Yeah. Have you guys here?
Greetings.
We are here.
We are here.
Yeah.
We're all here.
Yeah. We got everybody here. We got Travis Budd.
Yo.
Sean Jordan.
Hi.
We got Taylor Owens.
Hello.
My name's Todd Wofford. It's good to have you all with us. So this week we are going to look at Twister. So we're doing a series on stuff that movies we wanted to do but never quite gotten around to. Twister seems pretty topical right now with its, reboot / standalone sequel that's out right now in theaters, Twisters. So,
well, look, I wanted to do Turbo Kid, but I figured I'd take one for the team and make it topical.
What's not topical about Turbo Kid?
Yeah. Turbo Kid is delightful, but, it made more sense to do Twister. And I loved it.
Yeah. So this came out 28 years ago, May 10th, 1996.
Oof.
This was directed by Jan de Bont, who was fresh off of the movie Speed. Yeah. This was produced by Steven Spielberg under the Amblin Entertainment banner. This had a budget of $90 million and grossed just under $500 million worldwide.
Jesus.
I didn't know, written by Michael Crichton.
And his wife, Anne Marie Miller. Yeah, husband and wife team.
Wait, so this is the Jurassic Park guy?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, this was not based on a true story.
I don't. Was it based on a book, or he just wrote the script?
He just wrote the script.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like he originally wrote the TV show ER. He wrote the pilot for that because he was originally an ER doctor before he became a writer. And so
the tie-in there is Spielberg, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
He's the common thread. Good story about that. We'll get to that in a minute. But there was a lot of drama behind the scenes of this movie. This was a very stormy, pun intended,
Real whirlwind of production.
This was a hotbed of drama behind the scenes.
Dark and Stormy Night.
Yeah, exactly. It was that. So yeah, this was the second most successful movie in 1996. We've already covered recently the number one movie of 1996, which was Independence Day.
Oh shit!
This came in right.
Good
behind.
year for Bills. Bill Pullman.
Yeah.
Bill Paxton.
Yeah, exactly.
Bill Clinton. It was 96.
Yeah.
He had a good time.
Yeah, he was doing great.
He had a good time.
Also behind the scenes drama going on.
A little bit.
This was a groundbreaking movie for special effects, which were by Industrial Light and Magic. So this movie has extensive use of CGI.
You don't say.
And I mean, I remember back then this was like crazy. This was like awesome.
Yeah.
It's like it was like Jurassic Park, the original, where it's just like, I remember that scene in Jurassic Park where you see the Brontosaurus or whatever, people gasped. Like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Brachiosaurus. Jesus, you were a shitty preschool kid.
I set you up well for that. So the basic plot has Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt, R.I.P. Bill Paxton, by the way. That's a big loss.
And PSH.
Yeah, and I thought about that in their scenes together. Like both of these guys have passed on.
That's Phillip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
PSH.
Mm-hmm. Just for reference.
That was in Pumpkin Spice Latte.
That's good.
So they are an estranged husband and wife team of storm chasers who briefly reconcile in the hopes of deploying their tornado detecting device, which could give people more warning about approaching storms. To add to the drama, Bill Paxton brings his new fiance, which is played by Jamie Gertz, and
The Gertz?
And she is like the every person in the story. She's the one who's like, what's going on here? Y'all are crazy. What are we going? What is this? And they have to explain.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Why are we leaving?
Yeah.
They show her being a stuffed shirt, but she was a super hot gal from Lost Boys.
And she had in this, I don't know how many people watch Seinfeld, but she had the yearbook hair in this. About, the character in Seinfeld who has like bad yearbook hair. They're trying to get her to change. And so, yeah, she definitely has like senior year, like, oh my God, that hairdo. So there's that.
That was the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And she hasn't been in a whole lot. That I've seen since then. But I looked her up, and she is married to the owner of the Atlanta Hawks and the Milwaukee Brewers.
So she's doing okay.
Yeah. So
Can we? Okay, at one point, she has like really, like big hair, big 90s hair, and then she gets rained on, and it gets like fully soaked. Next scene, full body hair again.
Yeah, she got the Roger Moore thing where it's always like, Roger Moore could fall off the Great Pyramid in those James Bond movies, and all of a sudden it's like, whoo, perfect.
Full quaint.
Yeah. It's like, man, that is some hair.
Perfect.
It was impressive. Like that had to have been a perm, I assume.
Oh yeah, you couldn't smoke around that thing. That thing would go up in flames. But basically, yeah, there's tornadoes, there's stuff blowing up, there's cows. They drive through a house. It's the story is it's like, as Roger Ebert used to say, it's a clothesline upon which to hang things. In this case, it's action scenes. So, and in Phillip Seymour Hoffman's case, brain. So,
Okay, I tried to find. I knew this was going to come up. What scene is it where he hangs back?
for the viewers out there is a scene supposedly in the theatrical cut. of this
Allegedly.
movie. I remember this was on IMDb, where if Phillip Seymour Hoffman is sitting in a lawn chair, and I believe he either crosses or uncrosses his legs, and you can see the downstairs area of him. You can
Scrotum.
see, yeah,
He was wearing like cargo pants the whole time.
they're baggy. Those pants are baggy.
Yeah.
Todd, go ahead and stop talking for a second. You guys can take 5 because I'm going to finish this podcast for us. So Todd, back in the day, swore up and down that you could see Phillip Seymour Hoffman's nutsack in Twister. So I think maybe he put it on in the background and was looking for what scene it could be. And then he was voraciously searching his phone. And we were drinking. Yes, it was like after work. And then all of a sudden, like, he would be over there giggling. I'm like, Todd, what are you doing? Are you still searching? Now, this, not hyperbole, I think was a good 40 minutes. I don't know, it was a full 40 minutes of him looking up Phillip Seymour Hoffman's scrotum or ball sack or whatever different terms that you used. I was concerned for your search history that night, my friend.
I went all the way down to beanbag for searches.
There was
Like a PHS beanbag.
he went down a rabbit hole of ball sacks.
Yeah.
I don't know what you were looking at. I'm glad I wasn't looking over your shoulder.
And that'll be the title of my memoir someday.
That's the
Rabbit
title
hole
of
of
this
nutsacks?
title of this episode. Rabbit hole of ball
Ball
sacks.
sacks.
All right, I'm done.
Supposedly it has been excised for home video, so
This is legitimately your white whale.
yeah,
This
it
is this is you are Ahab
I will find it.
hunting Phillip
I will
Seymour
hunt this thing
Hoffman's
down.
ballsack.
Yeah, the internet's. I mean, if we have to go to the dark web, we have to go to the dark web. It's somewhere.
that's-
If it's anywhere, it's on the web.
Yeah, it's stored.
Gotta go.
If
dark
it
web,
is,
yeah.
if it is on the web, I mean, Todd has searched high and low.
It's got to
I
be
think he's
if
been
it's
in
in a
every nook
theatrical
and
cut.
cranny.
Someone has to have a theatrical cut.
There had to be
on
somebody
film somewhere.
videotaping
Yeah, like
in the
35
theater.
millimeter somewhere.
And they got a good look at that. So we need to go ahead and.
Todd, you're going to find it one day. You're going to be so
need
excited.
a-
It's going to be somebody doctoring it with AI.
You need to put
You're
a,
going to
like
get an
a
AI ball
bounty out
sack.
there. Got to put a bounty out there for somebody to find it.
Hopefully, one of our gentle listeners.
I feel like
viewers
if it was an
find it.
AI nutsack in a lawn chair, we would know that.
Yeah, you.
Yeah,
oh, you would.
It's
know.
got to be properly
Yeah.
grainy,
I think we have the experience now. We can spot forgeries.
Yeah.
So
or at least 2 juries.
I don't know. I need a control and a variable. I need to see Phillip Seymour Hoffman's nutsack
Yeah.
at that time period, and then to be able to see if it has an extra finger or something. It's AI.
I mean, at some point, you have to trust the science.
I've seen the
Yeah.
pixels.
Yeah.
I've seen them.
No? Okay, so that's the basic thing I have for a plot. I mean, you've got.
If that's not 90% of this podcast, I don't know
Yeah.
what is. It's the only reason we picked this movie.
Yeah. One thing I got to mention is Carrie Elways as the bad guy, Storm Chancellor, who drives a black Suburban.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know why he doesn't have a mustache so he can twiddle, but he needs a mustache.
His British accent only came out a little bit.
I blink and you'll miss it. Did I see Jake Busey in this?
He is in this.
He was in the very back. He had like one line that I know of.
Yeah.
And I was like, didn't even look at camera. He was like, oh, we've got a something. And then they like, he's in the background. He's with Carrie Elways and the
In their
guys that have
field of black minivans.
And he's just spouts off something and then kind of turns back around. I was like, was that Jake fucking Busey?
And-
I saw the glint of like the TV screen in front, like off of his veneers. And I was like,
It was like a scrim. It's like it kind of lit the whole scene. Carrie Elways has, I think, my favorite line in this movie. Watching it again, it's like I chuckled out loud where he was like, he looks, I think, at Helen Hunt. He's like, the days of sniffing the dirt are over.
there's a bunch of those.
Yeah.
I was like, man, good on him for being able to say that with a straight face. I could not say that without laughing.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it's like, dun, dun, dun.
A mustache would have been good with him.
Yeah, it would have worked. You know, he's got a real thin mustache.
Oh, yeah.
He would have looked like the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
he has a.
The Dread Chaser Roberts.
So before we get into this, we're drinking. I went for an Oklahoma booze. This is Oklahoma grass. This is bison grass vodka. What bison grass is exactly? I'm assuming it's some kind of prairie grass.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I mean, I get like a nice smooth vodka flavor. I don't get
Not
any.
bad.
I don't taste any grassiness. I don't know about you guys,
Yeah, I got no bison.
but
There's a little bison in there.
yeah, there might be some bison.
On the back.
Just a
A
smidge.
little chunk of bison.
Which I mean, if you got bison, you want just a little bit, not a lot of bison.
You don't want to get close to bison. They're big.
What else did you put in this?
So we topped this off. My wife works for White Claw for Mark Anthony brands, and so we topped this off with a little White Claw Zero, black cherry and lime, just to give it a little bit of a seltzery fizzy kick. So check out the White Claw Zeros. They're pretty good. I mean, they got like a nice flavor to them. I mean, it really
Is this an official plug?
Oh yeah.
Nice. My first sip was a little taken aback, but now it's lived in. I like it.
That's a good sound effect right there.
Yeah.
That nice crinkly ice. That's good. So obviously everybody here has seen this movie before.
Yes.
Hundreds.
Yes. I saw this in the theaters.
I saw this in IMAX.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was excited because this is filmed obviously in Oklahoma. They mentioned Highway 33, which is not too far from where I grew up.
They mentioned 412.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is the Cimarron, isn't it?
I believe so. At some point, it's the Cimarron Turnpike.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was filmed not too far. I grew up in Manford, Oklahoma, so not too far from where I live. They filmed, and it looks like that road too. I mean, it's like back then, no shoulder, 2-lane road, scary. So, anyway, so we'll start with Trav. What were your thoughts watching?
I was not in the mood to watch this, but I started watching it and I was like, oh yeah, this is great. And so this time all I did was focus on like Phillip Seymour Hoffman and all of his lines.
Balls.
And I was like, why is he not third on the call sheet? Like he's the best guy. Like it was Helen Hunt, Bill Paxton, and then Cary Elwes. I'm like, no, Phillip Seymour Hoffman. Like he's the best side man there is.
Yeah.
I don't think there's. I mean, he tried to do this role a little bit in Along Came Polly, where he was the sidekick, best friend. But no, he's firing on all cylinders.
Or was it Punch Drunk Love?
No, he
was a
Along
bad
Came
guy,
Polly. He was the bad guy in Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah.
But it was Along Came Polly where he's like raindrops with Ben Stiller.
I get this movie mixed up, I think.
But this film with a biased Oklahoman here, like we're all from Oklahoma, obviously. So this might.
He's from somewhere else.
I'm from Texas.
That's a lot. To me, in my biased opinion, this is a solid 8 movie. Now, it is an Oklahoma 10, but I give it a solid 8. It's a perfect 90s movie. The CGI doesn't really hold up. One thing I noticed this time around was like a lot of overdubbing because they're outside for almost everything, and it was not quite perfect. And I had never noticed that before.
No.
But they introduce you to all the characters, and everybody's got their own like little quirk. But like Phillip Seymour Hoffman, PSH, he's just bringing it. Every single line, he's going over the top. You're like, man, I've met that guy before. And he's kind of crazy, but he's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, he's the only one at the beginning that Bill Paxton goes up to and was like, oh, hey, what's going on? And gives him a big hug. The rest of it's all like, they walk by and he's like, oh, hey, Clark. And we're like, oh my God, you're back? We're like, no, I'm not back.
Oh,
and he
the
just
extreme.
keeps going. Like, he doesn't say hi to anybody else the way he does.
But what is his character's role? What does he do?
He's comic relief.
Yeah,
Other than
he's,
plays music? No, I mean like on the team. What does he do? He plays music.
He's their radar guy because then he all sitting in the back and he's like,
I don't think he's the radar
No,
guy.
I mean, to me, it's like Galaxy Quest. He's the guy that, like, I read the computer. It's like his job is to, like, state the obvious. We're like, it's coming. It's here now. We gotta go.
He's the guy. Yeah, he's listening.
He's the
in
one
on
that's
what
like,
other people
it's
are doing.
on its way to Maggie's, and it's all that, because they had the dude from Spin City that was on there that was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the guy with the car.
Count Ruck, yeah.
His name was Rabbit, which I never realized. I don't think I'd ever watched this with subtitles before. It's always been on like TBS with commercials, and it's just on in the background when I was like doing homework back in the day. It's been, this is basically the Oklahoma equivalent of like leaving on like a football game that you're not watching at all and don't care about just for the background noise. That was this movie.
Yeah.
So for me, biased, it's a solid 8. Probably that's a nostalgia bump. It's probably around in the 7s, but it's an Oklahoma 10.
Yeah.
It's great. It was fun to watch, even though I wasn't in the mood for it. It made me get in the mood.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that, with Phillip Seymour Hoffman and the scenes he does with Helen Hunt, I told my wife last night, it's like, That's 2 Oscar winners in this movie.
Yeah.
In the scene together.
Damn.
That's high powered for a movie called Twister.
Yeah.
That's not about the board game.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
there you go.
I'd watch that.
You'd expect Oscar winners in a movie like that was about Twister.
If it was about the board game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
That's going to attract some talent.
Oh, yeah.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Rihanna.
I mean, you want to see Phillip Seymour Hoffman's ball sack? You have him play some Twister.
I mean, you keep spinning that thing long enough, he's going to be in a weird position. Mm-hmm. So, and you're going to see some stuff. You see down Broadway. So you're an 8.
Yeah, I'm an 8.
Sean, you're not from Oklahoma.
Yeah, so pass.
Yeah, I was like, nah.
Where are you from?
If it's
Houston?
I'm from
Austin?
Texas.
Dallas?
We've covered this.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I am from Houston.
I don't listen when you say your backstory. When you do your lower drops.
That's fair. That's fair. That's on me.
So if it's an Oklahoma
Houston?
10, what's it Texas?
It's a Texas 6. I don't know. I saw it in, when it came out, I saw it in IMAX. I saw it at Space Center Houston, for one.
Oh, nice.
I think I was in like Cub Scouts. And I don't know why we watched it in Cub Scouts, but
so you're about 17.
sure.
Forewarned is forearmed.
I remember being like so into this movie. The cow, like you were talking about earlier, like on the big screen, the cow going by was a big thing.
Oh, and
that was
speakers like
it's like, oh, the cow's real. Yeah, I mean, it was such a blockbuster for '96, and I go back and watch it now, and I'm like, holy shit, this doesn't age well.
No.
Those tornadoes look cheap as shit.
Oh, yeah.
The cow looks terrible. All of the effects, just like things flying in the air. It's like, okay, this is definitely CGI from 1996, which I'm sure was cool.
It was.
At the time, like I remember it being really cool.
Yeah.
Does not age well. It's also a terrible representation of what tornadoes are like.
Yeah.
Like I was watching this, and I'm like, I have lived in Oklahoma for over 10 years, and I've been through many tornado seasons. This is not realistic.
Yeah.
Like there's no rain. It's like a sunny day outside,
Yeah.
and there's just like a tornado just over there, just like boo, and they're just kind of standing there.
Oh, yeah.
Just like as it's going, they're having a conversation, and
yeah.
they're just like, oh, it's like over there, we're safe.
Oh yeah, and they're driving to an F5. It's like
Talking.
over a bridge, like the sun is out. It's a clear, like there's no cloud.
Yeah, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah. It's like anybody that's been through a tornado knows that the sky is like a weird, ominous,
yeah.
like green color.
And they do mention the green sky. I forgot about that. They're like,
do.
we're going green. And PSH is like, greenage. And then I'm sorry, I forgot about all of the terms that they use for the tornadoes. They're like, oh, it's a fatty. And I never knew it was like one that has a very wide base. And then the other one was like, oh, yeah, we got a Sidewinder here.
Sidewinder. Yeah.
There was the one.
We got sisters.
Where, yeah, I thought it was twin sisters, and then I realized I'm like, oh no, I'm thinking about a guy tucking it between his legs and doing the twin sister. I was like, I still said that out loud. My dad and I were watching it. I was like, twin sisters, and then they go, we got sisters, and I was like, what? Yeah, oh, yeah, I forgot.
Wait, what?
I forgot 1, I'm wrong, and 2, I'm
Well,
wrong.
in the trailer for Twisters, the non-sequel sequel, isn't there a line where he goes, "We got twins"? And there's like 2? No
The sequel?
Am I
I don't know. I
misremembering?
believe so, yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. It just came out, but
I know that's
it's
a
in
beer
the trailer.
commercial. And twins.
Yeah, so it's a terrible representation of what tornadoes are actually like, and I feel like that might have done more damage than good. But I don't know. It was cool seeing all the references to all the Oklahoma cities, because tornadoes are a very real part of living here, just because it's like kind of second nature. They talked about like the Fujimi scale. What they didn't talk about, they kept calling it like, oh, we're forecasted for like an F2, we're forecasted for an F3. That's not how it works. It's based on how much damage is done
Yeah,
post tornado.
It's
They won't
aftermath.
tell you
Yeah,
what scale it is until
Yeah.
after it's destroyed a city.
Yeah.
I guess they're trying to change that too. They're trying to like track it, like give it the mile per hour, like it's like hurricane.
Yeah, I hear there's like a team of scientists that have this machine that's going to send some sensors up into a tornado.
Darn.
Get us a better way of tracking it.
Like some Pepsi can shuttlecocks. That ought to take care of it.
Yeah, now that's a band name. Pepsi can
That
shut.
is, yeah.
Come on.
Damn.
There's an accordion in that band somewhere.
Yes. I don't know. We just had like a F3, F4 hit Barnsdall not too long ago.
Finger of God.
Like, finger of God. Like when she says, "Oh, you've said F4. What's an F5?" and they just all freak out.
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
the music stops.
yeah, it's like the
Yeah.
Which I mean, there's a scene where Phillip Seymour Hoffman leans over to what's his name, Jamie Gertz, the girlfriend, and he's like, we're in the suck zone.
Yeah.
Like, suck zone.
That is not appropriate.
It did seem like what's an F5 like? And the record scratch. I bet you're wondering how I got here. That's where the movie should have started.
Yeah.
One thing that got me about it was how they try to make the girlfriend character like kind of the bad guy or the wet blanket. It's
Yeah,
like
she was wet blanket.
That's exactly what they were
Yeah,
doing.
it's like she's not technically doing anything wrong, and it's like when she says these people are nuts and stupid for doing what they do, like as aggressively as they do it, she's not wrong.
Not
there either.
wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
Also talking shit about weathermen and therapists.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, this
you
movie
need to
does
go to
kind
a
of talk
therapist.
to
You say, I need to go to a therapist? No, you need to go to a therapist, you know.
Well, and it's like I think they told her like you need to sound as much like Holly Hunter as you can when you're talking. It's like when you told me you chase tornadoes, I thought it was just a metaphor.
Yeah.
Also, we revere our weathermen in Oklahoma.
Yes.
For the record,
Yeah.
there are literal prayer candles of our weatherman.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've got one here somewhere.
Yeah. I think you should have it here.
Yeah.
Lit for this movie. I don't know. I think it aged poorly just graphically, but it's a fun movie. The action is, it's a very, like you said, it's very much just like a clothesline upon which events are hung. You get all your beats, you get all your acts. It's just classic blockbuster movie.
It's a great advertiser for a Dodge Ram.
Hell yeah.
I think
right.
that was another character in the movie.
Yeah,
It was. But yeah, I think 6.5, 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were they going to do? Like, just drive the red truck in there and they're like, all right, we got it. Well, shit. We're in the middle of a cornfield. Hold on, follow me, grab my hand. Like,
Who
go
has
left in the
liability
cornfield.
only?
Yeah. On a truck like that?
Who
Yeah.
has liability
We
only?
talked about that. It was like,
$25,000 in coverage of liability only?
when we talk about that, like when you're a kid, you don't notice dialogue like that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, whatever that means. It's like now it's like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
That's
like,
dumb.
What are you talking about?
It's a brand new Dodge Ram.
I get it, you're poor.
I totally forgot. And Todd, you're the one that mentioned this to me years ago about how they anthropomorphize like the Twister, because you don't have any. It's not like a thinking creature that's like, oh, I'm out to get. That might be Helen Hunt still, but you really don't think about it until it's coming through the drive-through with old Jack Nicholson. You're like, oh, here's Johnny.
Oh, yeah,
It-
kind of.
how does a tornado sneak up on whole drive?
Yeah.
Where they're all outside, you can hear a tornado.
It was rain wrapped. I don't know.
You're right. You're right. I can't argue with
First
that.
of all, you were born in Houston, so
But it did. It felt like Jaws.
Yeah.
Like it felt
Yeah,
like a monster that just like snuck up on people, and it was just like all of a sudden, oh, there's a tornado
Well, yeah. And again, it felt to your home. It's like, hey, it's coming. And
Yeah.
Bill Paxton, great lines like,
coming from the suck zone.
yeah, he's like, it's already here.
listen, you smell something?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the call came from inside the house.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's a we're gonna need a bigger boat.
Already here.
yeah. It's like an F4 tornado. Just, whoop, there it is.
Boop.
Yeah.
There you go. Don't see a huge wall of clouds moving in. You don't get any rain.
Yeah.
The lack of rain was weird, right?
Yeah, and well, you can tell some of the scenes they filmed it in like broad sunlight and then CGI'd in.
They just like filtered over like a blue darkness filter.
Yeah, it clears it. I mean, you can tell by the shadows and stuff like that. Some of the stuff was filmed in like regular old sunlight.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Tay?
Everything you guys have said is 100% accurate. And with the CGI stuff, like when I watched it, it's still kind of like when I see with like Jurassic Park. I'm still like, you're like, man, that Brachiosaurus. It's like, you're like, man.
Nose on.
But that was also like filmed in '95.
Yeah.
Came out, and so I'm like, that's still kind of impressive. But so I'm always like, man, I got to give it to him. I always think at that time, like, okay, this is pretty cool. But it also does not hold up.
No.
And the only story I have of Twisters is like I saw it in the theater. I still love the film. But I think like one of my cousins got this new TV, new surround sound, new everything, and he's like, "Hey man, I want to play Twister." I'm like, "Okay, well, why do you want to play Twister?" He's like, "Well, they use lion roars for like the thunder and the tornado," and I was like, "Yeah, I don't believe that for a second, man." And then I was like, "No, that's what? No." And he's like, "Yeah, there was like the tornadoes were all these animal noises." I'm like, "I don't know." And we put it on and we watched it, and he was like, it was one of those like, "Hey, you want to see this funny video?" And then they just stare at you. And that's what he was doing with me. He was like playing Twister on there, like, "It's loud, isn't it?" I'm like, yeah. I was like, it's loud. And he just kept staring at me. He was like, that's a cool graphic. And I'm like, yeah, man, I've seen this like 40 times. And it's just like,
he watched this?
it's like, yeah, I was just like, man, yeah, it's cool. I get it. And like, I hated Twisters for a little bit because I was like, I had to watch it forcefully. Like, I was like, you have to, like, let me see your reaction to everything. And I was like, yeah, man, there's the cow. Yeah, that's loud. I can hear the shrieking. I don't know what that is. It was like one like a horror shriek or anyway. But I still like this film. I think the storyline actually kind of flows a little bit. I kind of like it. All the characters I do think are borderline over the top. And I don't know if that was because for some reason I was like, is this acting bad? It's like I couldn't tell if Bill Paxton, if that's just him being him, or if it was like, was he just trying to do an accent? But it's like, it was something I was like, are these guys just not even acting in this film?
Yeah.
Like, are they phoning it in? And it was like, I don't know. I was just like, did they just say...
It'd be a great paycheck.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, are they just getting paid? Because I was like, I don't know. It seemed weird to me watching it this go around where I was like, maybe thinking about that. Where they're like, oh man, I got to fucking do this movie about some fucking fake goddamn tornado. And it was like, God dang it. Yeah, I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Where did they film this? What city?
I mean, they filmed it, I think, around Guthrie in that area.
Okay.
And kind of...
Yeah, I'd be pissed if I was filming there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, but it still was a still good story. I did like some of the one-liners. Oh God, but yeah, the elaborate scenes. Like, and again, at the very end, like, I still to this day, I'm like, so how deep was that pole? That
30 feet.
Yeah, that was like.
Yeah.
But I always think about that, and it was just like, I'm like, man, how could if you're not listening, if you're not like paying attention, you're like, so they were just in the middle of an F5, just like with
just strapped with the
Hanging out.
leather
yeah,
strap.
just with the leather strap.
Leather
you know,
strap.
it's just
It's
like
fine.
Yeah, and no
like,
2x4 like split their head in half.
Yeah.
No debris, nothing.
Yeah. They didn't
Wear
get some
a
like
helmet.
not a barbed wire from a fence, just like turn them into like fricassee.
They had like one hubcap just sort of like slice
Yeah.
the guy's forehead. I thought, I was like, oh my God, I don't remember this.
Preacher.
Does this guy die? And then he was fine.
the one CGI that I was like, damn, was when the house collapsed. Like it's like when they get everybody out, and of course, right when they leave, it just starts crumbles in. I'm like, oh no! I was like, that was that is the worst graphic.
Yeah, they had one of those guys was like just yelling. He goes, "Hey, that's no moon." Doing like the Star Wars quote, but then he also did one with Phillip, Seymour, Hoffman, which I guess is maybe from Repo Men. I've never seen Repo Men, but that's what the subtitles said. Like they were talking back and forth, like, "All right, here we go, yeah," and they were like going like back and forth, saying something about the Repo Men come, but the Repo Men never leave, or just I totally made that up.
Is that
But they said something about Repo Men.
Is that Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen?
I think
Maybe.
so. Yeah.
Is it Repo Man, Trash Man? Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah.
But they were just, and I was like, I wonder if there's any other quotes that they said, like other movie quotes from movies I haven't seen. So,
I don't remember a whole lot. But
all right.
Anyway, this is I think Travis put it greatly. As an Oklahoma piece, I'd be like, this is a 10.
Yeah.
Like, I still haven't seen Flowers of the
Killers of the Flower Man.
Private Moon. But it was like, but as an Oklahoma film, like, yeah, it's a 10. But I would say, I give it a 7.
Yeah.
I give it a 7. As after watching it, again, if I'm watching it in 96, it's a 10. But now, it's a 7.
With no nostalgia bump, because I feel like I said 8, and that was probably a nostalgia bump. It was probably
And what's funny is that I still like watching this movie. Like, when we watched it,
Yeah.
we actually watched it about like 3 weeks ago, and we watched it again because it is just one of those films like you just put it on, you just kind of zone out and you hope to see Phillip's balls. You know, and it's like maybe they had the wrong one in there, and it's just like keep it playing. It's like you never know.
yeah. I mean, watch it first time for the greenage. Watch it second time for the balls.
Well, and let's not kid ourselves. I think Travis, you and I both tried to Google and try to find some.
I think I told you about it later, and then I think we were back with Todd again, and I think we all tried to do a quick search.
It wasn't just me.
But
yeah.
But 45 minutes, Todd.
Todd, do you have like a board somewhere that you flip at night when someone's not around? It just has like a bunch of like strings drawn to other
It's
pictures.
the back of this mirror.
Case.
Rest at the base of the board.
Just says
board, pull out his
balls
book.
right in the middle.
You've got a murder board for Phillip Seymour Hoffman's.
Just like a brain in the middle of it.
How many Post-its have you gone through?
So much. I mean, you go to Sam's, get those in bulk. So
I get them in 2-packs.
Yeah, R.I.P. So you're a 7? Okay.
7.
So instantly, one thing I forgot to mention is the backstage drama behind.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I was
yeah.
on here.
So Jan DeMont, the director, has a reputation to be not a real nice guy as a director.
His name is Jan?
Jan DeMont, he is, I believe he's Swedish. He's somewhere.
Oh, so it's Jan.
Or Norwegian. Jan DeMont, something like that.
Jan de Bon?
And so, not a real friendly. He was a cinematographer, and I believe he was the cinematographer for like Die Hard, Lethal Weapon. He had some big movies before he became a director, and then he did Speed. And so
He directed Speed?
he directed Speed.
Okay.
And so supposedly the original cinematographer was a guy I believe named Don Burgess. So Jan he got mad, pushed a camera assistant into a ditch while they were filming. Didn't apologize, and so the cinematographer quit, the camera crew quit, then the costume department quit, and then I believe the art design department quit, which pretty much shut down the movie at that point. And so the movie shut down. The next day, Steven Spielberg, I guess it was Steven Spielberg's only participation directly in the movie. He flew to Norman in his private jet, called Jan to the airport, walked down the steps of his plane, cussed him out, told him to get back to work, apologized to everybody, got back on the plane, flew away, and they resumed production later that day.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
He just showed him his nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that, and it's interesting because like after that, Jan didn't work a whole lot more. He did Speed 2, Cruise Control.
Hell yeah.
He did a movie called The Haunting in the late 90s, and then he did the second Laura Croft movie.
Oh, yeah.
Times got tough.
Yeah.
Laura Croft, that was like 2003, 2004?
And then I believe that's the last movie he did. He's still with us, but he's not working.
Right.
But he's not with
He's
us.
semi-retired.
Incidentally, he was originally supposed to direct Godzilla 98
Good job.
and fell out with the producers of that movie and took on this movie instead. So there's that. For me, this is a dumb. It's a dumb movie. Watching it again, it's like it tries to sound smart with all of its kind of techno babble, all of its weathery talk, but it's like you kind of have to put aside the fact that it's a dumb movie. And
Yeah.
you can't, if you're in a cornfield with an F5 tornado, you can't outrun that. You're going to die.
No, they got out of the truck. They got out of the truck, Todd.
All you need is a belt and a pipe that's buried 30 feet. You're good. The debris doesn't would have killed you.
No.
That's why.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. That's not like 200 mile per hour.
Tractor
away.
trailer falls on your head. You're fine. You're
Yeah.
going to be okay.
Oh, well, it mostly fell elsewhere.
You take a barbed wire to the neck going, 80 miles an hour, you're going to walk
You
that
can
off.
veer around it and then go through the house.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's going to pick up a semi 18-wheeler off the ground.
Oh, yeah.
That Dodge Ram's going to stay planted firm.
And you're going to go right through it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So if you can put that stuff aside, I mean, this again, big suspension of disbelief. If you can do that, it's a fun movie. It's a big, fun, like dumb popcorn movie.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 7.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, it's got the Oklahoma factor, which is good. That's part of the reason why I really wanted to go see it as a kid.
Yeah.
I wanted to go see it and see like the Oklahoma. You don't get to see, especially at that point, a lot of Oklahoma in movies. So,
Yeah.
How was this marketed in 96?
but I remember it was all over the news.
Yeah.
Here.
What?
I mean,
The local news, because some of the local meteorologists got to be in it.
Jeff Lazalier.
Fuck yeah.
oh yeah.
In Lazalier we trust.
I remember that trailer though back in the day, like that with I think it's like a tractor tire hurling at the screen CGI. It's like that's awesome. So yeah,
This feels like a movie that would have been in 3D had it been hit right in that late 80s 3D like craze.
oh yeah.
Like put on your red and green glasses.
Then you definitely see Phillip Seymour.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
It would come right at you.
It's like the nuts are in my face.
And if I can paint the picture for our fans in Norway that don't know much about Oklahoma storms and tornadoes, is that basically if you were watching TV back in the day before streaming, every channel you had was the Doppler going on. You'd be watching if you had like some crazy storms in your area.
Yeah.
And then if nothing good was on TV, that's what you did that night. You go outside, big dumb hick, like look at the clouds. You're like, yeah, those are some Cirrus or Mattis or whatever. You just do your dad talk with your hands on your hips. We're like, all right. Oh, hey, look how green it is.
Got some serious
Look at that
greenage.
lighting. Yeah, some greenage. We got hail in the backyard.
We're in the suck zone.
Exactly. It's a whole play-by-play. That's
I need to be in the
all you do.
suck zone.
I mean,
I haven't been in the suck zone in a long time.
You got to be careful in the suck zone.
I know.
sometimes a good storm in Oklahoma is like a parade coming through your town, or like an ice cream truck that you didn't know was coming by. You're like, oh, sweet. This is gonna be good.
That's the message you want the people in Norway to know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just big dumb hicks just watching storms.
Yeah.
This has been another episode of Cinema Fino.
It has.
And we thank you guys so much. So we got Taylor Owens.
Yo.
Sean Jordan.
Love you.
Travis Budd.
Yo.
My name's Todd Wofford. We got Oklahoma grass, bison grass vodka. Try it. We got a little bit of White Claw Zero, black cherry and lime. It's good stuff. Yeah, refreshing.
Yes.
So, little, yellow, different. But yeah, great movies, only drunk. Tune in next time where we talk about The Game, which is Taylor's pick.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Another great 90s movie.
I watched the wrong one.
So, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.